Okay, imagine this. Two soups, both born entirely from stale bread, becoming so legendary that they literally divide an entire Italian region. Welcome to today's explainer. In one corner, we have the heavyweight Ribollita, and in the other, the vibrant Pappa al Pomodoro. It's a centuries-old culinary showdown born from something most of us just toss in the trash without a second thought.
Right, so to truly understand this fierce debate, we have to travel straight to Tuscany. Picture rolling hills, vineyards, and these centuries-old kitchens where a strict rule of absolutely zero food waste is the ultimate law. The debate between these two beloved comfort foods has lasted for generations. So today, we're going to break down exactly what makes each one so incredibly special and why they command such fierce, unwavering loyalty from locals. Let's get into it.
Part 1. History of Zero Waste.
So how did this all start? Well, for centuries, Tuscan families baked these massive, saltless loaves of bread that naturally went stale pretty quickly. But rather than toss them, they got resourceful. Back in the Middle Ages, farmers and servants invented ribollita just to stretch their leftovers. Fast forward a bit to the 18th and 19th centuries, tomatoes swept through Italy like wildfire, giving birth to Pappa al Pomodoro. Which brings us to today, where both stand as fiercely beloved Tuscan comfort foods.
Now, you might be wondering about the older of the two. Ribollita literally translates to reboiled. In the Middle Ages, people would cook these massive, hearty pots of vegetable soup. The next day, they'd take whatever leftovers remained, toss in chunks of that stale bread, and just reboil the whole thing. By letting it sit overnight and then boiling it all over again, the flavors deepen exponentially. Honestly, it's the whole reason ribollita is famously and strictly known for tasting way better on the second day.
Moving on to part 2, the blueprint, preparing the contenders.
What's really fascinating here is that both of these soups start with the exact same foundation: Tuscan stale bread, vegetable broth, and extra virgin olive oil. But from there, their identities completely diverge. Ribollita leans hard into the earth with hearty cannellini beans, black cabbage, Savoy cabbage, carrots, and earthy herbs like rosemary, thyme, and sage. Pappa al Pomodoro, on the flip side, relies entirely on the sweetness of ripe tomatoes, garlic, and fresh basil. So one is incredibly earthy and rustic, while the other is bright and aromatic. Creating these masterpieces isn't a quick process. It takes a slow, intentional 2 hours. You start by building your base, sautéing those hearty vegetables, or gently cooking the garlic and tomatoes, before tearing in the absolute star of the show, the stale bread. Now, the real magic happens during the simmer. The bread completely breaks down, absorbing all that broth to create two totally distinct profiles. You get thick and hearty for ribollita and wonderfully smooth and creamy for Pappa al Pomodoro. And get this, that creaminess happens without using a single drop of actual cream. After a crucial resting period, it's finally time for the taste test. Finished off with a generous pour of olive oil and cracked black pepper.
Part 3. The pitfalls. Crucial mistakes to avoid.
Look, because these recipes are so humble, there is literally nowhere to hide if you make a mistake. First off, you absolutely cannot use fresh bread. It turns to complete mush, and nobody wants that. Also, don't drown it in liquid. These are meant to be thick stews, definitely not watery broths. Using poor quality tomatoes, that will completely ruin Pappa al Pomodoro, which needs sweet, ripe ones to really shine. Oh, and never, ever skip the rest. Letting the soup sit is absolutely non-negotiable for deepening those flavors. And finally, for sure don't forget the high-quality extra virgin olive oil to transform the dish at the very end. It's a total game changer.
All right, part 4, the showdown, the ultimate taste test.
If you taste ribollita, you get something rich, earthy, and just deeply satisfying. It's a true rustic farmhouse meal where the beans and vegetables create incredibly complex layers of flavor. Pappa al Pomodoro, on the other hand, is a completely different experience. It's bright, it's sweet, it's super fragrant with the basil. Honestly, with its silky bread texture, it essentially tastes like sunshine in a bowl. So who is right? Well, across Tuscany, this debate rages on. But here's the thing. It isn't actually about which recipe is culinary school correct. It's all about family traditions passed down through generations. Every single family has its own unique version of these soups. It's really a battle of deep-rooted memories and local pride. Which brings us to the final verdict. If you love a hearty winter meal that just warms you right down to your bones, ribollita wins, hands down. But if you prefer fresh, tomato-forward comfort food with a silky texture, Pappa al Pomodoro takes the crown. Ultimately, though, when you have two dishes that transform leftover, stale bread into something this spectacular, Tuscany wins. Now, the real question is for you. Which Tuscan soup are you choosing tonight? Are you going for the earthy magic of Ribollita, the sweet comfort of Pappa al Pomodoro, or are you just going to go for a giant bowl of both? Think about it. Thanks for joining us for this explainer. Keep looking for the history in your ingredients, and remember to keep tasting the world.